Welcome back, everyone. What an amazing day we are having. Our next guest is Deepa Kakkar. Deepa is a passionate and empathic people's leader with a diverse experience of working across geographies, Asia, Africa, and Europe. She takes great pride in her abilities to help people realize their potential and strive for excellence in their professional and personal lives. She has worked in the corporate sector where she led large teams and simultaneously championed improvement projects, thereby motivating herself and her teams in her professional pursuits. Some of her notable achievements have been Best People's Leader Awards during her career. She's a keen believer in education opportunities for all children. While on sabbatical to raise her two beautiful children, she coached the local youth in Oman. She has also participated in various fundraising activities for local NGOs and orphanages. For her, learning never ends. She's a certified life coach, and she hopes to assist her clients learn better communication skills, decision-making skills, stress reduction, visioning, goal setting, life alignment, and many other essential life skills. And today she's going to walk us through Connect Mindset to Leadership. Welcome, Deepa. Thank you so much for being today with me. The floor is yours.
Oh, thank you so much, Anna, for your kind words. It feels so good to start your day because I'm based in Netherlands in Europe. So it's 10 o'clock for me in the morning. So it's so good to start your day hearing so many flowery words about yourself, right? So
Absolutely.
sun is shining, that got a smile on my face, and your words definitely got a smile on my face. Hi everyone, this is Deepa Kakkar. I am a life and a business transformation coach, and I help my clients to rewire their mindset. So I help my clients that, at any point of time, like we all struggle with imposter syndrome, where we think that maybe I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough, and as a result of which we self-sabotage ourselves. Or we are a perfectionist, right? So we have a fear of failure, or we are really hard on ourselves, or we are a chronic procrastinator and we don't achieve our goals. It could be either because we are not motivated or our goals are not in alignment because of who we are. And I also help my clients to show up more authentically in their life by understanding their who. Because once you understand your who, then your what and how becomes very easy. And a lot of times we don't show up authentically because we don't know who we are. Or the most important part where I help my clients with is setting healthy boundaries. If you have been a people pleaser, if you need validation from others. So anything to do with mindset, I work very, very heavily on mindset. And then we work on the marketing and pricing strategy. So if at any point of time, any of my client comes to me and say, hey, I want to upscale my business. I want you to develop me a marketing strategy. And I always tell them, you're smarter and wiser than you appear to be. It's not that you don't know what should be your marketing strategy. But of course, there are some limiting beliefs which might be holding you back to achieve your maximum potential. So that's where I help my clients to increase their level of awareness so that they can make conscious choices, because everyone is a leader, right? Either by default or by choice. So in that way, I help my clients to connect their mindset to their leadership. Now, these are the focus area I was talking to you about, Diana, that these are a couple of things that I help my clients with. And then I work very heavily on the energy level. So let me quickly take you on the energy level. So I'm also a master practitioner when it comes to energy coaching. Now, energy attracts energy. It's not any coaching jargon. It has been established by science. So in 24 hours, we travel through all these 7 different levels of energy, including my own self. Now, let's say if I'm operating from level 1 or level 2 energy, which is catabolic or destructive, then that's the energy I'm going to attract from the universe. And that's the energy I'm going to spread around myself, because that's how energy works. So level 1, level 2 energy is where, you judge yourself, you feel overwhelmed, anxious, you have a lot of anger, frustration, resentment, inner conflict. These are all characteristics of level 1, level 2 energy. Now, again, I'm giving you a very helicopter view of these energy levels. We go very, very deep into that. Now, the thing is that our thoughts convert into our feelings, and on the basis of our feelings, we take action. Now, in my head, if I'm operating from my inner child where there is a lot of resentment which I have not resolved over the years, then of course I'm feeling frustrated within myself, and as a result of which I will not take any action. So when you operate from level 1, level 2 energy, you feel absolutely powerless, you feel stuck, as if you have no choices to make. Now, again, respecting the time that we have together today, only 15 minutes, I will not be able to dig very deep into all 7 levels, but just to give you a flavor and compare level 1, level 2 energy to high level 6 energy, which is a high anabolic constructive energy. So level 6 energy is where you totally trust yourself, you trust the universe, you trust the process. Your life is completely in alignment with who you are, as a result of which you're able to tap into your intuition, into your creativity. You're in the moment, in the present. You're not playing a victim coming from the past. You're not feeling overwhelmed thinking about the future. You are showing up authentically as who you are in the present, in the moment, and as a result of which you feel happy, you feel satisfied, because you believe in the concept of synergy, that we are all part of one big picture. There is no judgment there. Now, for all the entrepreneurs or individuals, I would highly request you guys that, do take this energy leadership assessment, because it's absolutely transformational for myself, and I've coached over hundreds of clients and thousands of hours, because this is not a woo-woo energy level assessment. This is a very scientific energy level assessment where you get to know that how much catabolic and destructive energy you have in life. And after this assessment, we create a roadmap that how we can tap into your higher levels of energy. And, I always offer one complimentary coaching session to my clients with no obligation to sign up, because I firmly believe that it's not about my accreditations, my certifications, and number of hours I have coached, Diana, but keeping in mind that when you hire a coach, you really need to connect with that person, right? Because you're going to take out the skeletons out from the cupboard. You're going to share your deepest secrets, maybe which you have not shared with anyone in your life. So that comfort, that confidence with the other person is really required. So I offer that 35, 40 minutes complimentary coaching session with no obligation to sign up. And if nothing, even if you don't want to sign up with me, you will at least walk away with a lot of awareness and nuggets from that complimentary coaching session. So I will quickly share my details here. So you can either send me an email at deepa.kakkar7@gmail.com. This is my Netherlands mobile number, which I mentioned on the screen. So send me that. And right now, because of COVID, I am offering very discounted packages with discounted rates, where I'm just charging 70 euros, which I think translates to 80, 85 US dollars, which is very affordable, very reasonable. So you have nothing to lose, guys. At least come on, contact me and sign up for this complimentary coaching session. And since we have 5-7 minutes left, since I'm watching my time here, Tiana, so I'll go back to my presentation. And maybe, I'll pull up a couple of slides. So let's say, if I'm just giving you a flavor that, how do we deal in our session? So let's say if you're talking about imposter syndrome and self-sabotaging. So you have to ask yourself that how many times in my life, again, personal and professional both, because how you do one thing is how you do everything in life. How many times do I hold myself back because of imposter syndrome? Now, how imposter syndrome can be, classified when you struggle with self-doubt, when you feel like I'm not good enough, you lack in confidence, you feel like I'm not worthy enough, You constantly judge yourself, or you're really hard on yourself. And as a result of which, you self-sabotage yourself because of the limiting beliefs of fear. And before becoming a coach, I was under the impression that people who are unsuccessful in life are the only ones who struggle with imposter syndrome, because the ones who are successful will never think that, hey, I'm not good enough. But I am surprised to know that there's so many successful people out in the world. They're still being really, really hard on themselves. They still do a lot of negative self-talk. And surprisingly, they don't suffer from fear of failure. They don't feel as if I'm going to fail. They have fear of success in their life because they have achieved those goals in their life, and now they're telling themselves, what if I'm not able to maintain this? What if it's not a sustainable model? Or what if they don't resonate with the process they have accomplished that success? So again, just giving you a flavor here that we go very, very deep into our coaching sessions. Like typically I would ask my clients, let's say if someone says that, hey, I hold myself back 40% of the times because of imposter syndrome, then check in your body. How do you feel with that score you have given, And where would you be like to be on that scale? Whether it's possible, it's not possible, but where would you be like on that scale? And then we talk about that what steps we need to address or resolve to work on your imposter syndrome or self-sabotaging. So this is just one of the slides, just one tiny area where I work upon. So these are all the areas where I talked about that, where I serve my clients. And I'll be more than happy to offer your tribe, Tiana, with a complimentary coaching session, no obligation to sign up if they are struggling with any areas, what I have mentioned here. So that's all from my side, Tiana, and over to you. And I'm really looking forward to the questions from you or from your audience here.
Thank you so much, Deepa. Thank you very much. I will ask you, I don't know if you can close the screen.
Yeah, sure.
So I can see you and the audience can also see you entirely.
Yeah.
To stop the sharing, I mean. Yes, perfect. Now you're on the screen.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And I know that this is something that we are all struggling with. And we have many business owners on the platform, but we also have people who are in a career. And I know that this sometimes stops us from evolving, from becoming our best, from putting ourselves out there. And I know that many coaches are even saying that I don't dare to put myself out there on social media because I'm afraid I'm going to be judged. I don't really have anything to say, or I don't know how to say it. What would you advise them to do? What is the first step they could take to get out of this mindset or of this limiting belief?
So wonderful question, Tiana. Thank you for asking that. So there are two answers to that. One could be, yes, there could be limiting beliefs holding you back. Like, I typically ask my clients, out of curiosity, what evidence do you have to support this belief that you will be judged by others? Right? Because a lot of times we make a story in our head, Diana, and we start believing that story. And I was reading the other day in a book, and I really resonated with that. If you want love from others, love yourself. If you want respect from others, respect yourself. If you want others to trust you likewise, trust yourself, Diana. Now, if you have that confidence in yourself, and if you trust yourself, then how others are perceiving you or judging you, that's not your problem. That's their perception, beliefs, and values in life. That's the area they have to work upon, not you. So this is one part of the answer to your question. And the second, I would say, when we dig very, very deep into our sessions, I understand that the marketing strategy the coaches are following, it's not in alignment with who they are. Now, there are a lot of business coaches out there in the market, with due respect to them, when they claim that they're making $10,000 a month, $20,000, they're millionaires. I believe every word they say. I'm not saying that they're making false claims or those strategies have not worked for them. Of course they did. But remember that business model, those strategies was completely in alignment with who they are. It might or might not work for you because we are all unique and different in our own ways. And that's the reason the session on values is so insightful. It's so important because once you align your marketing strategy with who you are, your core values, then you're in the flow. Then you show up authentically because you feel so confident within yourself. So let me ask you a question. Since I'm a coach, I love asking questions, Diana.
Please go ahead.
You tell me, what do you think? What is the purpose of core values in our life?
Of core values, I would say for me personally is something that guides me.
Mm-hmm.
Something that gives me a direction. And I mentioned this very openly and transparent, and many times I think in this podcast that I am not perfect, that I am working with myself, and all of these sessions are actually helping me to grow. So beyond the fact that we are helping thousands of people, this is also helping me because I am also in a journey. I am on a growing path. And these values for me, and this is something that I built for myself recently, is kind of sort of reminder. Because I didn't know, for example, what I wanted, or I didn't know what these values are. For a long time, I thought that I wanted to be on stage, that I wanted to be in front of people, I wanted to motivate other people. And slowly I started to understand that all I wanted was the connection. All I wanted is to understand other people, to see their perspective, to see where they are coming from, what's happening behind the surface. Because this is what helped me to move forward and to actually open my mind and myself to whatever comes towards me. So I did also this exercise to put together all the values. But what I did, something which is more important, is that I put when I feel overwhelmed, I do this. When I feel stressed, I do this. And this is personal. This is for me. I know that everyone has its own way of doing things, but this helps me to remind myself what is happening in that moment. Because when I am in the emotion, maybe I don't realize what's happening, right? So if I see it, okay, Diana, go back to that. Don't let yourself get into this kind of negative pattern. Sometimes it's more difficult, sometimes it's easier. It depends if there is a habit which is installed.
Yeah, and wonderful. Like you said, Diana, it seems that you're very knowledgeable and you have really worked upon your awareness, I would say. And the way I have picked up, two of your core values is learning and connecting with others. That is something, you know, who you are. So, which is wonderful. And like you rightly said, Diana, values are the main drivers in our life. Values is something, you know, which fuels our behavior, our emotions. Now, when our life is not in alignment with who we are, that's the time we feel unsatisfied and unfulfilled. For example, one of my core values is having fun. When everything else is going fine in my life, there is no problem. But if I'm not having fun, that really pushes my buttons. So likewise, when our marketing strategy is not in alignment with who we are, we will hold ourselves to show up authentically. We will not show up on social media or on offline platforms as well. So again, you know, if you resonate with what I'm sharing as in your tribe, then I am more than happy to connect with you guys and help you understand who you are. And that complimentary session on values will be so insightful for you that you will be able to make the right changes into your marketing strategy. And the next thing, what you were talking about, Diana, like a clap for you on that front, is that it seems that, you know, you tap into your emotional intelligence when you go through that catabolic and destructive energy of feeling overwhelmed. It seems to me that you don't come from your past. You're not thinking about the future. You're really thinking loud in the present, in the moment, and recollecting and processing your thoughts and your feelings and being curious about you. So, which is wonderful, which is fantastic, you know. So,
Thank you so
brilliant.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I know that I went through this and I learned that this is a daily hobby. This is a daily work. There is no such thing that you work once and that's it, you get it out of the way. Things are going to keep coming. And it's really a daily work of being happy, And what Tony Robbins says is that we are doing our emotions. We are not leaving them, or it's not that their emotions are driving us. But I would like to ask you, Deepa, before we close, you mentioned these levels, level 1 to level 7. I like that very much. Do you have an idea or some tips for us on how we can move from level 1 to level 7 if we are caught up into these kind of emotions? If we have anger, resentment, how can we move to the level 7?
Yeah, that's a brilliant question again, Tiana. Now, the thing is to shift in simple words, like, and this is, how I use energy interplay in my sessions, and I go very, very deep. To shift the energy, let's say for someone who's really angry in life. Now, understand anger is a coping mechanism, right? You're coping against something. And the way you deal with that situation is you get angry within yourself or you start snapping others. So you really have to first understand the root cause, that from where this anger is coming from. Most of the times anger is a level 2 energy, which I find that 80% it comes from our childhood. There is so much which you have not resolved over the years, and it doesn't go anywhere. Something which is very important for you, which pushes your buttons, it stores into your subconscious mind. So basically, when we don't resolve something over the years and we start to collect those feelings into our subconscious mind, and studies suggest that 90% of the times we make decisions in our life coming from a subconscious mind. So I help my clients in my coaching sessions to declutter that subconscious mind. Now we go very, very deep into that, where is it coming from? How do you feel about it? What steps you need to take, address and resolve it. So there are a couple of assignments, tools I share with them. And once you let it go, then gradually you will see that you're shifting your energy. Because once like we declutter our houses and we feel more space into our house, right? Likewise, when we declutter our minds, we can think loud. We can really clear that brain fog. So this is the easiest answer I can give you, Diana, I can think of, because it goes very deep than that. You have to really get to the root of the issue than just addressing it, in a very superficial way, I would say. So I hope it helps.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Deepa. And I would like to ask you last is, what would you say, because I know that many people are not having a coach. They don't go to a coach because sometimes we think that, okay, I don't need one. I can handle it on my own. I know that I surround myself by coaches and mentors because I know what's happening in my mind. And you mentioned the fear of success, and I totally was in that, definitely. And I realized that sometimes it's difficult to get out on my own. I have all of these rules, all of these things that I am following, but sometimes still like this is difficult. What would you advise those who don't have a coach? And what would you say that you can do more for them than what they could do on their own?
Okay. Now, I was reading the other day and it said, and I really resonated with that answer, that people who are doing good and average in their life and they're happy and want to be in their comfort zone and safe space don't hire a coach. Because there's nothing wrong in your life, right? You're achieving your goals, you're very happy with the success you've achieved, everything is fine in their life. But if you really have the desire to be a better version of your own self, to tap into your maximum potential, then you need a coach. And if someone believes that, I don't need to be a better version of my own self, I am perfect, that person definitely needs a coach, because right, no, every person has a scope to be a better version of their own self. And through coaching, a coach will help you to process your thoughts, to show you the mirror, to challenge your limiting beliefs, to give you options, to help you and empower you that you always have a choice, period. And coach will take you to the places where you don't want to go. Like I have coached hundreds of clients. I still have a mentor coach for my own self. Every coach needs a coach, because when it comes to my inner blind spots, I cannot see that.
Yes.
And when I see my mentor coach once in a month, I still tell her, I hate you because every single time you take me to the place where I don't want to go.
Mm.
So that's the reason you need a coach. A coach will help you to be so empowered in life over a period of time that you will think that I can, because problems will never disappear from our lives. We'll always be stuck in situations and problems. But once you know how to manage that, how to look on the opportunities and solutions rather than being stuck at the problem, that will change your life, Diana.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I fully agree with you. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And I would even dare to say that we need one our entire life, not only for a certain period of time. And I totally implemented this and I started to accept it that I will keep growing. So there is no limit. If I overcome something, I know that something else is going to come because I need to grow even further. Thank you so much once again for sharing that with us and for your wisdom and knowledge, because I believe that everyone in this world needs you and you can help them to become their best version. This is all it is about in the end.
Oh, thank you so much, Diana. That really touches my heart. Bless you for that. And I hope you have a wonderful evening, afternoon, wherever you are in this part of the world. And I would be really happy to connect with your tribe. You have my details, my email ID, my contact number. Please spread it around. And I'm more than happy to offer that 30 to 40 minutes free coaching session to your audience.
Thank you so much. Everyone is on now on Facebook and listening to this live, and also they will be listening in the podcast. So don't hesitate to contact Deepa because she's going to be there to walk you through your journey and to the path to becoming your best version. Thank you so much, Deepa.
Beautiful, Diana. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.